Well, hello there, my lovelies. Welcome back. How are you doing today? That's good, or bad, depending on what you said. Anyways, we are here today to discuss these because they're amazing and I love them, and I've basically used them every single day today. Yeah, I'm not. I like to think I'm a creative person. I'm not a creative person, actually. Anyways, these are my two seasonal. Ooh, spoilers. These are my two seasonal Panda palettes. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so I feel like we should start out with the palette that has the most usage. Photos right there, right? And that would be this one, the Reloaded Division palette. The first thing you might notice is that this shade magically got non-pan on it. I repressed it along with the two other loose setting shades in the other palette just because it made more sense, you know? So that first shade, it's like an iridescent inner corner shade. I did not like it for a while, but I did like it. And so I got 12 uses on it since I think it was like the 18th when I started. I can't remember, but it's the 20th today. That second shade, before I repressed it and frankened it, I got 7 shades on it. That third green shade was 5 uses, and then on that 5th use we hit pan, which was great. The 4th shade is a really, I don't want to say ugly brown shimmer, but it is. I don't like brown shimmers, so I haven't used it at all. The 5th shade, the like kind of grayish taupey shade, that one got 1 use on it just so I could have 1 use on it. The 6th shade, that really dark green, has 4 uses on it. That 7, which is a really dark purple, has 7 uses on it. The 8th shade, which is that really lovely pale pink, kind of salmon-y almost, with, it has a little bit of an orange in there. I used that 8 times, ironic since it was the 8th shade, but I hit pan on that 8th use. And then the 9th shade, which is that really pretty gold shimmer, I used that 9 times. One, I paired it with the that light green shade and put it all over the lid. And then the second use, I used as an inner corner highlight, but like an inner corner glitter. And it was really pretty like that. The 10th shade, just that regular old brown, I used 1 time. The 11th shade, which was that mustardy yellow, I used that 4 times. And then the other kind of brighter, lighter yellow next to it, I used 3 times. There we go. That more mid-toned green, I wore 2 times. The dark brown in the palette, I wore once, and then that black I did not touch at all because I really didn't want to. So, as you've already put together, we hit 2 pans on this palette, which was amazing. So you can see it's in this green shade up here and this pink shade. They're really small pans just because I'm trying to just hit pan on everything and then I'll expand the pans. Might not be the best theory on this, but it's the one I'm going with. And then that lid frankening shade, I did use that 20 times, which I think is rather impressive. Like I said before, I did start early. I didn't start on the 21st like I normally do. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I think for my goals for this one, I want to hit pan on this brown shade. Possibly this green shade. I don't know. It might only be that brown shade and then some of those yellows and that pink expand the pan just because I have a lot of contradictory colors in the other palette. Oh, and then this dark purple liner shade I also would like to hit pan on because, I don't know, the more usage the better because I have to repot this. It's held together by a hair tie at this point. And then also this Liz Sang shade I just like to hit pan on again, and then this shade, hopefully. possibly. So then the other palette I was working on was this Jewel Collection Opulent palette, also for Makeup Revolution. These are both by Makeup Revolution, by the way. And let's go ahead and look over our progress. Oh, scoochy, scoochy. So I will just say first, this is what it looks like. And you can probably tell these two shades are gone because they have been repressed. But there is one other difference. We shall see if you can spot it. If not, don't worry, I'm going over this. Alrighty, so this one I did not get as much usage on. It's not... I was working on other things, okay? I was working on other shimmers from other palettes, just because why not? Well, actually there are no Pan Left Behind projects, which I don't know, I'm going to continue that. I don't particularly like it. So the shade Participate, we so far have gotten 7 uses on it. That's what I'm wearing today. This is my go-to work look, but I did not go to work today, so what can you do? We did not use the shade Ready or Paris at all. Ready is just, it looks too much like Participate, and then Paris, I just don't like it. I mean, I have neutral thoughts on the city. The shade I don't like though. And then there are 10 usage on the shade Nightlife, and for that we hit pan on the 4th use, but then it goes really well with that green shade, so we continue to use it to just expand the pan on that. The shade Love Note, we got 1 usage on, and it had shocking progress in just that 1 use. I have not used the shade Cop Out at all, again. The shade Squad, it was another one of those lid setting shades. We got 1 use on it before it got frankened. Wishlist is that pink shimmer. No uses. Soul, I used that on my inner corner 5 times. Bystander, I used as a liner 1 time. Rules, I used as a lid setting shade 1 time before it got frankened. And then Alone, MOTD, I did not use either of those at all. And then Full Time, I used once as a lid setting shade. Impressionable, I did not use at all. Code, I used 7 times on the inner corner. Reveal, I used 4 times, and that's what I'm wearing today on my crease. Again, part of my go-to work look right now. Peace, I used twice. Moody, I used once. And Ritzy, I did not use at all. As you can tell, not the greatest usage on this palette, but because this palette is still in 2 pieces, the lid does come off. But because it's in 2 pieces rather than 3 pieces, I've decided to just slow down my usage on that and really focus on my usage on Reloaded Division palette. And then also a lot of these shades, the shimmers, I just kind of use them like 1 shimmer at a time. Right now I'm working on Participate, and so I'm not really using any of the other 5 metallics or 1 lid shimmer, you know? And then I don't use the mattes that much, and the other ones are just so dark that I really would only use them as a liner. And I have another liner shade that I'm using, so what's the point in pulling away from the ones that I need to repot and gain some usage on those just to make it easier? So that's kind of my idea. So this month, ideally though, I would like to hit pan on Participate. I'm probably going to wear it almost every single day except for on Tuesdays, because on Tuesdays we wear yellow. You all know that. But then I would use Love Note. That is my goal, to solely use the shade for shimmers, unless there's like another palette that I really want to use. Yeah, and maybe through doing that, I could hit pan on Participate and then move on to Ready. And if I somehow miraculously hit pan on Ready, I'll move on to Paris. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be pretty cool if it did. Now, I do just kind of want to talk about overall goals. My overall goal is to hit pan on all of those top 5 metallic shades, and then slowly start to expand those pans, just because I do think the next Z palette I get, I'd like to categorize all my shimmers, and not all my shimmers, all my shadows, just by season. And so the next Z palette I get will probably be a winter Z palette, so I would repot that and this palette into that. And I do think it is time, just because, again, broken packaging. I think once packaging is broken, it's a sign that A, you should start to use it up, and B, if you do want to preserve it for a little bit longer, maybe repot it into something more stable. But yeah, I mean, if I had my way, I would finish off this entire thing, but that's not going to happen in 2 months because, again, seasonal, we're going to rotate on the 21st of March. So, and with that, my lovelies, I will leave you. I'm talking very quiet just because I've been having a very chill day, a very relaxed day. I don't feel like being hyper and energetic. I kind of just feel like laying in bed and reading. You might think I'm reading fun stuff, but no, I'm reading Canterbury Tales and Diet for a Hot Planet. So, sad and complex language. That's what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. Those are both school books for me. So then I have a bunch of Wordly Wise to also do. I'm going to finish Wordly Wise like vocabulary, and then I'm going to finish cleaning my kitchen. And then by that point, I will probably be so exhausted that I will just collapse into my bed. So yeah, that's my plan for the day, and I will see you all next time.